I walk the line.
9:35. John is now broadcast legend Jeff Stelling. In March, Jeff is embarking on an epic charity walk to raise vital funds for our official charity partner, Prostate Cancer UK. Delighted. Jeff joins us now. Jeff, good morning.
Morning, Jeff.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Ray.
What have you let yourself in for here, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, you know. Prostate Cancer UK said to me, look, we want you to do something for us. Do you want to go, on the Great Wall of China or maybe the Inca Trail? And I thought, oh, that sounds like too much of a jolly. So I came up with this idea that we'd walk from Hartlepool to Wembley, because Hartlepool had never been to Wembley. And I thought, well, they ain't getting there. Not this season anyway.
Year of the Monkey
maybe
as well.
I could be. Yeah, absolutely. So Angus, our mascot, he's going to come on part of the walk with us as well. Yeah. And a lot of people, the chief executive of Hartlepool United, Russ Green, is walking the whole 10 days with me as well. He's as mad as me.
Wow.
And this is March.
Yeah,
You
March.
should come and do 5 days at Cheltenham with us. That's hard enough.
Yeah, that's much harder. I know what Cheltenham's like with you, Al, and it's much harder than walking for 10 days.
But Jeff, how many miles? This is
260. It's 26 miles a day. So,
Wow.
But the incentive at the end of every day is to get to the hotel, have a nice hot bath and a couple of nice beers.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you, Beefy is the master of.
Well, he'll
of
tell
long
you
walks.
how to do it.
And he said to me, "Whatever you do, Jeff," he said, "don't wash your feet for 10 days."
Really?
Yeah, apparently you want the skin to harden and the such like. So don't wash your feet. And well, don't wash your feet for 10 days.
My missus will
never. My missus will never let me back in the house if I don't wash my feet for 10 days. So I'm a bit torn over that.
Wow, that's fabulous. And have we got a target how much we can raise?
Well, it was more about awareness, really, Al, than anything else, because I think of prostate cancer as a sort of silent killer. Because you know what it's like. We're blokes.
Yeah.
We're indestructible. We aren't going to go to the doctors. We're not going to go and ask anybody for advice. But when you think, that 1 man in 8 is going to be affected by this, 1 man an hour will die from prostate cancer. So it was about raising that sort of awareness more than money. Although I have to say, people are being fantastic, and the donations are coming in left, right, and centre.
Well, Sports Saturday's great. The boys have all got the badges on.
Yeah, and they're all going to come and take part in various different legs. Mercer's coming. I think Mercer's coming on a couple of legs. Matt Letitia, Chris Kamara. I've got Bianca Westwood coming on one of the legs as well. So all the boys are weighing in as well. So
Peter Moose needs to go on it as well. Doesn't
yeah. Well, I was thinking about you two.
It's a proper walk. Cheltenham,
I was
Jeff.
thinking about you two.
Cheltenham.
But we're looking for people to come along and get involved in all sorts of ways, and come and watch or support and come and take part. They can fundraise for it. So we're not just after people's cash. We're
Do you know what, Jeff?
It's
It's important because there's so many charities out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm doing a bit with Sparks, children's charity.
Yeah.
We've all done a bit with them. They're great. It's just picking, ones, and as you say, it's not driving people mad. It's just making people aware of the stats. And this is very important. We need more money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the thing about prostate cancer is that a lot of the money will be used for things like improving diagnosis, because it's an easy cancer to cure if you catch it early on.
Yeah.
But at the moment, too many people are unwilling to go and have tests that they see as sort of intrusive.
Can they not just blood tests? Is there not a special blood test now?
No, they're working on all sorts of diagnostic tests at the moment that will improve diagnosis, and some of the money we raise will go towards that. That's one of the issues, because by the time that people find they've got prostate cancer, and if they caught it earlier, then it'd have been fine. But if you catch it too late, of course, then it's a killer.
Jeff, what training you have been doing for that? You've been doing lots of training, or
well, the local pubs up a couple of hills.
Yeah,
now,
okay.
I've got a couple of dogs, and I take them out, pretty religiously every morning and every evening. It's about an hour ago, and then maybe I'll run for an hour during the course of the day. So it's probably 2 or 3 hours.
And when do you get time to do all these stats at the weekend?
Yeah, well,
you told me once you sit in your car sometimes and do it, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You never stop, really. It's as they say, it used to be like painting the Forth Bridge. Once you've finished it, you start again, and that's really what it's like. Most of it's done on Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays.
What a weekend again coming up this weekend, Jeff. It's fabulous.
What a season it's been. Obviously, I look at Hartlepool in League Two, obviously, but in the Premier League, the games this weekend, Arsenal and Leicester and Man City, Spurs. Whoa!
And then the Mourinho story breaks again today. You imagine Van Gaal's face when he does the press conference. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. If Guardiola and Mourinho are in the same city next season, arch rivals. It's going to be absolutely incredible, isn't it? But will Man United will they snap at him? I just wonder whether he's right for the Manchester United brand. But
And then we're talking about the two Manchester clubs. What if Tottenham or Arsenal win it? And I say Tottenham not as an outside bet now. If they beat Arsenal White Hart Lane.
Yeah, I mean, not any longer. I think for Tottenham, we all know, is they've got to keep Harry Kane fit. If anything happens to Harry Kane, what happens to Tottenham?
Would you not say that about Arsenal as well with Giroud?
Maybe less so, because they just put Theo down the middle then, wouldn't they?
Sanchez,
You know?
maybe
Sanchez. I think they've got more options. But you could say the same if you're talking about Leicester, you know. You'd say the same, what happens if anything happens to Jamie Vardy? So everybody's, to a degree, reliant on one
Aguero is
man
again in the goals again.
Yeah, and again, you say it with City. What happens if anything happens to Aguero, you know?
Champions League, Jeff, just looking a wee bit ahead, we were talking earlier, Ray, of course, his club Arsenal, Barcelona. Do you give Arsenal any chance, Jeff? Seriously?
Not a great deal.
No, it's difficult, isn't it?
I'd love to. I'd love to. I love Arsene Wenger. I love Arsenal and the way they play football. They play it in a brilliant way. But Barcelona are just in a class apart, you know, and I'm lucky enough to, you know, have been out to the Nou Camp on lots of occasions and seen them, and it's a joy, just a joy to behold, you know, and I still think they're a level above anybody else, not just anybody else in this country. I think at the moment they're a level above anybody else in Europe.
I said that Arsenal just to stay in the game, so it makes the second leg a game to watch, because it could easily be 3 or 4-0 to Barcelona.
Yeah.
And then the game's over. The tie's over. So just to stay in the game for
the
second leg.
A club we've not spoke about yet, Chelsea. We've not touched on Chelsea, have we? Chelsea could easily go through.
They could, but hand on heart, do you think they will?
I think it's going to be really tight, like, you know, over past encounters.
I just think that, you know, every game for Chelsea is a struggle at the moment. Every game is a battle. PSG, I mean, they're cruising along in France, you know. There's not the same intensity in their league. They can afford to leave players out, whereas as Chelsea, got to try and field their best side at every occasion. I think from a Chelsea point of view, though, I thought Diego Costa was fantastic the other day against Manchester United. I thought he was right back to his best. We haven't seen that enough of him.
Well. Could have won it. And who's coming in at Chelsea, Jeff?
I don't know.
See, there's another puzzle.
Yeah, you see, I mean, I don't understand really what's happened there. The fact that they decided to sack Mourinho without really having a plan, a long-term plan in place, and for a club of Chelsea's size and stature, I didn't understand that at all.
Jeff, just explain to people listening who love the weekend show, and you know, I've got Freddie the parrot there, Polly the parrot in my ear all the time. You know, there's an echo sometimes 4 times. Do you have that same problem?
Yeah, well, I normally welcome it, to be honest, because I might have Trevor, my stats man.
Is Kondo gone? Is he way gone now?
No, Ian Condra, no, he's still
there, is he?
He's still there. But
he's a survivor.
He's a survivor. And the great thing about it, Al, is when he's there, he's the producer, of course, and he's giving you all sorts of information. You can't understand a word, because generally speaking, he's got his face full of a sandwich.
Yes.
You know, so
and you're starving. You're sitting there for 6 hours starving.
Starving, absolutely right. But they don't consider us, do they, Al? That's the problem. They get on with it. You know, we get the last of the sandwiches, the dregs that have got no bacon or lettuce or tomato left in them, you know, while they've helped themselves to the best of stuff. So, yeah, and I've got Trevor, my stats man, in my ear as well.
But a lot of the stats you do yourself. Yeah. It's not all, is it?
Yeah, no, you've got to do the majority of them yourselves, you know. I mean, I've got to know, you know, if Harry Kane scored 18 goals, he's not going to tell me that. He's going to tell me that some fullback was not scored in 5.5 years, he's just scored.
Which
you can't possibly know.
Absolutely.
Why do you know he's getting bigger?
Back to Hartlepool. Jeff, no. I'm looking at the table and it's worrying.
It's incredibly worrying. You know, we started a run last night of what we saw as 3 key home games in a row. So to lose at home to Stevenage.
You've got 3 games in hand, though, Jeff.
Yeah, but they're no good rate. You don't pick up any points. Yeah. We took 10 points from our first 4 games this season. You take those 10 points away and look at how many we've got now.
How big is this game set?
The Oval's a massive
Town.
game. It's a massive game.
Huge.
You look, you know, boys, you've played the game, you know how much is dependent on confidence. Yeah. And our confidence, which was sky high at the start of the season, especially after the finish we had last season, is rock bottom.
Yeah.
And you know, it's very hard to instill confidence into the guys when they're going out there and getting beaten. You know, we've got some decent players in that team, but just at the moment they need a couple of lucky breaks, a couple of 1-0 wins.
I've got to go back to Soccer Saturday. Who's been upsetting Merce? Because he keeps ranting every week now. He's having a rant. You heard him on there? John Stones and then something else. And
yeah, he was.
What was the one when he said about the hooter?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But John Stones, he had a was really off on one on John Stones, wasn't he? And I mean, I love John Stones. I know not all Everton fans do. I absolutely love John Stones. Maybe he needs a manager though who will just say to him, look, play at the right times and get rid at the right times as well. Because I think he's encouraged to play all the time, isn't he, by Roberto Martinez?
Hansen was like that.
I see him as a holding midfielder myself.
Really?
I think he could do the job that Dyer's done for Tottenham.
I look at him
front.
and think, how good would he look in a side like Barcelona or like Real Madrid? Absolutely. He would be fabulous.
Definitely. Jeff, just before we get back to the charity, last night, did you understand Klopp's team selection?
No, I didn't understand his team selection, to be honest, because they're in cup competitions at the moment. They're not going to finish they're not going to win anything in the Premier League. They're probably not going to finish in the top 4. Play your best side in the cup competitions, get some silverware. That's the way I would have gone forward. It's great experience for those kids, but the travelling supporters who come down in their numbers as well.
Packed it was. The Liverpool
I feel for them, and I mean, look, in fairness, they played pretty well, but you just think if you'd have 2 or 3 of the more recognised names in that starting lineup, that might have been enough. So I didn't totally understand it. No.
Jeff, how do our listeners support you on the walk? How can we do this?
Well, lots of ways. I mean, as I say, we're not just after people's money. We're after people coming along to support people walk. People fundraise. If they want to go to the website, it's Men United March or the Prostate Cancer UK website, and there are lots of different ideas about how they can help out and how they can support, because believe you me, I'm going to need as much support and as much help as I can possibly
get. A marathon a day, isn't it?
A marathon a day, and I've run marathons, Ray, and I must be mad, because I remember when I finished running a marathon thinking, thank God that's over, never again.
Alan eats a marathon a day.
Well,
which is a snicker now.
When you run your half marathon, show me your result, Ray Parlour, and I don't think it'll be as quick as what I did Wellingham City a few years ago. You can support Jeff Stelling on his epic challenge by donating or join him on the walk. There'll be a lot of big faces, famous faces joining Jeff. I mean that. Visit menunitedmarch.org, and this is Hartlepool, Jeff, all the way to Wembley.
All the way to Wembley, taking 30 football clubs on the way, going through places like York and Sheffield and Chesterfield and Derby and Burton and Watford and Luton. So basically all the way down the east side of the country. So you're anywhere near, come and help us.
So maybe we can talk to you partly on the journey?
That would be fantastic. I need something to pass the time, that's for sure.
Your camera will be alongside you. You won't be short of company. Brilliant. Please support that. So it's visit menunitedmarch.org. Jeff Stelling. Brilliant.